A quick review over explicit and recursive formulas. Now, the first thing that we're going to determine is if it's arithmetic. Remember, if it's arithmetic, then it has a common difference that we're going to use. And here's our formula. It says to find any term in the sequence, then we're going to take our first term, a sub 1, and add n, the nth term that we're looking for, minus 1 times that common difference. If it's arithmetic, remember that this is not our final step. We have to do a little algebra before we're finished. For recursive, we state whatever that first term is. That's why I have a question mark here. And then we take whatever we are adding, that common difference, and we add that at the end of our equation, and then we say that n has to be greater than or equal to 2. That means if we start with the first term, then the next term that we find in this recursive formula is the second term. So if I give you the sequence here, we can see that it's adding 2 each time, so the common difference is 2. To write the explicit equation, we take our first term in our sequence is negative 1, and we add n plus 1 times the common difference, which we can see here is 2. From here you have 2 lines of work. We're going to distribute the 2 to get 2n minus 2, and then we combine this negative 1 and this negative 2 to get a negative 3, so we write 2n minus 3. And that's for your explicit. For a recursive, we state our first term. Our first term is negative 1. And then to get to the recursive part, we say that we take the previous term, the a to the n minus, or sub n minus 1, plus the common difference, which in this case is 2. And then we also say that the next term that we can find is our second term. For geometric, our explicit formula is a sub n equals a sub 1, our first term times the common ratio to the power of n minus 1. For the recursive, we just take the common difference, or excuse me, the common ratio and multiply it by the previous term. Okay, so if I give you the sequence here, we can see that we're multiplying by 4, so that becomes our common ratio. In our explicit equation, we write a sub 1, our first term here is 2, times r to the n minus 1. And remember that we are not allowed to multiply these terms because we have to do order of operations, which says exponents before multiplication. So this is actually in its finished form right now. To do the recursive, we state the first term, which is 2, and then we take 4 times the previous term, a sub n minus 1, and then we say that the next term that we can find is the second term.